Hey guys, this is Josh 8 Loop. Just wanted to go ahead and show you my new crankcase oil Cyclonic air oil separator. As you can see, that's the unit itself. It's from a BMW. I'll include the part number in this thread. But as you can see, this thing's probably about 8 inches, 9 inches tall, somewhere in there, and probably about 2 or 2.5 inches wide. So it's pretty small. Right now I just have it temporarily lashed up with a little stainless steel zip tie. I went ahead and got some spring clamps and went to Napa and got the 3/4 inch weatherhead hose. And basically what you have here, in fact, let me just go ahead and pull my engine cover. I love having the snaps on the engine cover. It just makes it so much easier to take that off. But basically what I've done here is, so you went down to Napa, got a 3/4 by 3/4 plastic elbow, inserted that. I don't have a spring clamp for this one. That's kind of bothering me. I just used a regular stainless steel clamp. I'm going to get a spring clamp for that one so it can kind of keep somewhat of a stock look. But basically what happens is your crankcase gases come out of your valve cover, as you guys are aware, and this elbow shoots the gases through this line here, which is the inlet of the Cyclonic separator. The air actually swirls around real fast depending on the velocity on the inside, which throws the moisture or particles or oil vapor on the inside of the container here, and that drips down into my catch can. And then the clean air actually, when it circulates, throws everything out towards the bottom, and it exits through the center of the device and then through this elbow, and of course, as you guys know, right on into the intake of the engine itself. And just like I showed you, just for temporary, I went ahead and put a little container on there just so I can see the oil vapors and water that does condense. So I'll go ahead and monitor over this over the next oil change interval. It's only been on there for about 20 or 30 miles right now, but so far so good. I actually, on this particular unit, when it came out of the box, I went ahead and blew on the intake just to see what kind of sound I would have, and just with a gentle airflow through it, it was already starting to produce a pretty significant cyclonic sound from the inside. So that just told me right there that that thing has got a very good, highly likely hood of working real well. In fact, my homemade unit, which is pretty sad, I might add, actually had nowhere near the functionality as this one appears to have, based on the sound it made when the air was flowing to it. Actually, eventually, when this gets done, I will hook this line right here up to the bottom of my separator right there, and that line actually tracks down and it actually goes into a T, which is right here, into my dipstick tube. And so any moisture or oil that's collected by my Cyclonic separator will actually be emptied into the drain pan itself. And right now I've just got a little piece of Teflon tubing right here just to kind of give some visual indication on later on down the road of what's actually being emptied into the crankcase there. But basically, with that installed, it'll be pretty much no muss, no fuss. It'll just be doing its own thing, and I won't have to worry about it. But for right now, I'd like some visual feedback with this little catch can just to see what it's doing. But man, this thing is pretty cool, and I paid about 36 bucks for it, but I saw it at ECS Tuning for I think 27. So that's going to be the better way for you guys to go if you decide to go this route. I'll certainly provide feedback to you guys. Also want to make mention that these fittings are just a little over 5/8. The weatherhead hose like this, it's very unforgiving as far as its stretchability. So you pretty much have to go 3/4 with the weatherhead, and then use a spring clamp or some other clamp to clamp it onto this. This outlet is just a little bigger than 5/8 and a little smaller than than 3/4. So you definitely need a clamp. The outlet on the bottom is somewhere in between 3/8 and 1/2 inch. And actually, this had a little tail that went down and kind of kicked back in that direction, and that was the wrong way I wanted to go with the effluent. So I went ahead and just cut that little hose barb type piece off the bottom of this and cleaned up the end, the plastic, and this is going to work real well. And later on down the road, like I said, when I go ahead and hook my my elbow, 3/8 elbow that goes to my oil sump, that's going to fit right up there, and that's going to be perfect. So plans are right now to monitor it, see how things go, eventually get this squared away and solid, mount this of course to my air box, or maybe even mount it a little closer to my vacuum pump, make it real solid. And but so far it looks great. In fact, kind of has somewhat of a stock look to it that I'm quite proud of. It seems like it's going to work really well, and it fits right in, you know, with the black plastic just matching everything else. So eventually it's going to look perfectly stock, and I just hope that it'll be extremely effective and maybe keep some of my oil in the engine instead of putting it into the intercooler. So anyway, we'll go ahead and post this on the thread, and hopefully somebody will find some benefit from it. Alright, catch up with you guys later. Bye.